Hi there. I'm just doing the video to just to talk about some of the miracles that I've experienced since I've been a Christian. Because I could say I could say all the verses in the world and kind of explain that it wasn't me who found God, it was God who found me. But just to demonstrate exactly some of the mad things that have happened. So right, for my next trick. No, it's not a trick. This is the truth. My son, he's 6 in 2 days, but at the time this happened, he was only 2, and he didn't really know a lot of words. He kind of just knew the basics, and he definitely didn't know how to count. And it's really important to realise that, because at the time that this happened, I was really into like numberology within the Bible. Like if you look in the Bible, there's loads of numbers there that are important. Like you got like the set 7 days of the week. The number 7's really important in the book of Revelations. There's 7 churches. Paul writes his 7 letters to the churches as well. There's loads of 7s in Revelation. You've also got 666. The number 6 is important. You've got like 40 as well. There's 40. The Israelites were 40 days in the desert. They wandered. Jesus was tempted 40 days after he was baptized. There's 40 days between Easter and Pentecost. There's just loads of numbers and stuff. And the number 1 as well, which I found out at the time, is a lot to do with God, because it's the very first number. It's the kind of the most important statement in the Hebrew alphabet. Because all the letters correspond to a number. Like Aleph corresponds to the number 1, and so on. But Aleph is to do with God, and because God is one, as any good Jew will tell you, God is one, and all Christians believe that as well. So I was thinking about this stuff, and obviously I didn't share this with my 2-year-old son. You just don't share stuff. So I just had this in my mind, and I read this account here in the book of Mark. I'm not sure if this appears anywhere else, but actually it says here it might appear in the book of Matthew as well, but this is Mark 7 verse 24. So I'll just read this and I'll explain exactly what happened and what the miracle is. Okay. From here he arose and went to the region of Tyre and Sidon, and he entered a house and wanted no one to know it, but he could not be hidden. For a woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him, and she came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by birth, and she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her daughter. But Jesus said to her, Let the children be filled first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And she answered and said to him, Yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs under the table eat from the children's crumbs. And he said to her, For this saying, go your way, the demon has gone out from your daughter. And when she had come to her house, she found the demon gone out and her daughter lying in the bed. So in my head, I had the numbers going on, and I was thinking about this story. There's 3 elements to this story. Well, 3 that I was concentrating on. There's the children. Jesus says, Let the children be filled first, for it's not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. Yeah, that's it. And then, so basically the children are the nation of Israel, because Christ came first to the Jews. He came first to the Jews, and they rejected him. And then when he was on the cross, he extended out to the Gentiles, which they're also called the dogs throughout the Bible. That's kind of a lot of us, the Gentiles. So basically, when Jesus said, "Oh Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," he was sort of addressing the Gentiles, and he'd come to the Jews to offer them salvation. They'd sort of figuratively rejected him, so it was open for everyone. He is the God of everyone. So the first pointer there was the children of the Jews. Okay, the dogs of the Gentiles. I thought, but there's another element to the story, because there's the table. When the woman says, "Yes, Lord, but even the little dogs under the table eat from the children's crumbs." And this is when the miracle happened, because I was thinking, right, you've got the children, the Jews, you've got the dogs underneath the table, the Gentiles. I was thinking, but what's the table in this? You know, the table's got to be something. And my 2-year-old son, he walked over to me without me saying anything, and he said, the table is number 1. And I thought, that just blew my mind completely. Oh, still does to this day. So I thought, the table is number 1. So I said thanks to him, and I thought about it, and I realised the table is God. You know, the Jews sit at God's table basically, and there's so much of a blessing that it overflows onto the floor to the Gentiles, you know, to the dogs, you know. And it's just showing me that, you know, the Jews sit at God's table basically, like all the 12 apostles, they were all Jewish, and they basically and they were there, you know, and they went out into the world and they shared God with people, you know. And whenever they mention bread as well, this, like Jesus says that He is the bread of life. So I suppose you could read into that. There's enough of Jesus Christ for everybody. It's overflowing from God, you know, the love of Christ, and it reaches out to everybody. So that was just amazing how my son kind of came up to me and said that just out of the blue. It's my first miracle. Don't know if you can hear music, but this is from Thunder Force 4, stage 3-2. Lovely music.